Almost 2 years ago, I posted a video that I had no idea would reach, as of right now, 19,000 views. And it's now February of 2016, and I posted that in June, I think it was, of 2014, where I talked about why people would be attracted to and get caught up in cycles of uh, being in relationships with people that are charming but emotionally unavailable. And my pattern, of course, continued to some degree, although the past 2 years have taught me more than pretty much what I've learned throughout my entire life, it seems like. I documented some of what I experienced when I was learning in videos, so thank you if you're a subscriber for going along with me on my journey. But I kind of want to do a follow-up video to the charming, emotionally unavailable love avoidant video, because I feel like I've kind of come full circle. And since love has been my greatest addiction, then I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I believe about love now that I'm not in an unhealthy pattern of love addiction. Although I notice when it tries to rear its ugly head, that or the love avoidant. Because remember, love addicts and love avoidants can go back and forth between the two. But I'm going to start by telling you something that I've probably only told a couple of people in my entire life. So it's really hard for me to say it on video, but I'm going to say it because I think that's part of the healing in any addictive pattern. And it's not, we seem to be going through this feminism thing, which I'm all about feminism and equality, but equality means treating people like equals, including men, and not hating on another gender or race or sexual orientation or anything like that. But I digress. I'm going to, because it's unpopular, I'm going to tell you what I wanted to be when I was a little girl. Because a lot of people are hating on the idea of marriage a lot and how antiquated it is, which to me is a sign of some love avoidant issues, but that's another topic for another day. I'm going to be honest and tell you that the only thing I wanted to be growing up was someone's wife. And I can't say that ever without crying or holding back tears, which is why I haven't told many people. To me, when I was little, and I'm remembering it now that I've had my own space to really reflect, when you would be someone's wife, because trust me, I'm one of the most independent people you'll ever meet, stubbornly so. But love is all-inclusive. A real healthy love is something that vibrates so strongly and potently when two people come together in the right space. It expands. It doesn't shut other people out. You don't feel like you're isolated. I mean, it's sure in the beginning when the hormones are going crazy, you might isolate yourselves. That's what honeymoons are for, right? Or the concept of them. So we can look at honeymoons archetypally so we don't get overly defensive about our own ideas. But that's what that phase was for, is the space to come together and to kind of see how two people fit together, physically, energetically, spiritually, emotionally, in a more powerful and intimate way. So when I was a little girl, yeah, I fantasized about having horses. A best friend named Crystal was my imaginary friend, and my best friend now is Crystal, so I did a good job manifesting that one. And I also thought a lot about, it would be fun to write a book and have somebody read it. Just one person, maybe. That'd be great. But what I wanted more than anything was to just love and be loved. Because I believed, from what I was witnessing and how excluded I felt in the love that I witnessed in my life, I knew that it was possible to have love that included others and didn't exclude them, where people could be autonomous, their own people, have their own independence, and then come together to rediscover a new level or a new phase of love, and what that included and how that could include others in different, unique, and healthy ways. And yes, when you believe something like that, you're going to go through different phases of exploration, even when with partners you have, from sexual to uh, other versions of romantic love. But we tend to limit love a lot and feel like it has to be in this box. So I feel a little bit like I was going through life as Fox Mulder. I want to believe that kind of love is possible. And I would be in relationships wanting to believe that somebody could love at the depth that I could. But I was in my own patterns of love avoidance or love addiction, so I would find someone that complemented that. And I shouldn't use the word find, but it's just rolls off the tongue because that's how we speak nowadays, isn't it? But yes, that's what I would attract and be attracted to. And now that that no longer fulfills me because I see the patterns in myself and I'm not stuck in them like I was. So when another person is in one of those patterns, I just feel more and more distant from them because that's not love. That is a cycle of self-abuse that I had myself in. And I was attracted to other people that were in those same patterns. So now I've accepted that I believe that that kind of love is possible. And I have witnessed other people experiencing it. And I've also experienced other people who have gone through abusive or manipulative situations, relationships, and it affects them or starts to shift them into love avoidant or love addictive behavior patterns in order to remedy or protect themselves from being hurt or manipulated or abused again. And to me, the only way you're at risk of doing that is if you haven't gone through the work on your own. And I'm not saying you have to break up with someone who's good to you and treating you well, but on your own, outside of a partner, if you haven't done the work to really work through how you got into that, how you were attracted to someone and didn't see that potential, what it was in you, like Eckhart Tolle talks about how, I think I've mentioned it before, it always sticks in my head, where two people, their emotional pain bodies, they find relation in one another and then they call it love. So what in your emotional pain body is not resolved to where you've attracted someone that makes you feel less than what you're capable of feeling when you're on your own? Or do you know what that feeling is because you're so busy fantasizing? And I'm going to tell you and go back to why I started the video. This is the first time in my entire life I haven't had any person to fall back on to self-soothe. My subconscious has dreamt about celebrities. For like a month, I went through dreams of celebrities, like it was reaching for someone, something, some archetypal idea of what the right man for me would be, because I don't have anybody in my reality to fulfill that. And it was unsettling because I wanted to just sleep. I was okay. I was comfortable in my conscious life. I was comfortable going to bed alone. It was actually refreshing to not need somebody when I was all alone and not be pining for someone even when I was busy in the middle of a work day. I just did my work and I just go to sleep. But then my subconscious was like, but wait, you're alone. Somebody has to need you right now. Somebody has to want you. Somebody you want the same way. And I'd wake up going, no, it doesn't. I'm okay. I'm safe. And it was this cycle that I had to keep going through to continue to heal. Micah is safe. Micah is loved. And it might not be this love, this ideal that I had built up in my mind, but in my heart of hearts, I believe that kind of love is possible. And I've accepted that I might not be the person to experience it. I might be the person that helps people identify early what holds them back from knowing it when they're already with someone that's they know is good for them, but they can't seem to connect because they're still so wounded or hurt from something in the past. And that's what I believe my love is capable of helping people connect with other people in a deep and meaningful way that's not restrictive, doesn't exclude others, but it's all encompassing. And it's bigger and something greater than any of us can imagine. It's like this work of art, and we each are the poets or the painters of what we know our life and our love is capable of. And if I can be the person that helps people heal something so that they can be the artist, the author of their own love stories, even if it's loving themselves and accepting themselves and not going through cycles of self-abuse anymore because of something that they've gone through in the past, self-sabotage, sabotaging healthy relationships. If I can help people do that, then that is the kind of love that I was wishing for as a little girl. And that's what I would be married to, is that work. So, this is really challenging to share, but I'm speaking from the heart. And I haven't really said this to anyone, so I figure I might as well share it to everyone because that's what love is, right? If I want to be married to the work of helping other people not put themselves through years of what I put myself through, then that's worth it. That's love. So, I appreciate you loving yourself enough and loving someone else in your life enough to listen to me blubber. But anyway, stay tuned because I plan on making a forum around this. I'm working on it right now, actually. And I want to make a forum for people who've gone through this, and there's not really support groups for love addicts. Excuse me. And I'll just invite you, if you're watching this and you cannot relate, or you know someone who's going through what I've been through, but you don't know what to say, I can tell you what not to say. Don't say, you'll find someone. Oh, it's the absolute worst thing you can say. It's like telling an alcoholic at 2 a.m. who's going through recovery and has gone through 2 years of healing, say when they're going through this huge awareness. And it's actually a good thing because they're bursting out of this cocoon of what they've used their entire life. They're breaking this unhealthy pattern that has kept them stuck in these unhealthy cycles. Say, you know what? I know you're going through a hard time right now. Maybe a liquor store's open and it's 2 a.m., but we're going to find one for you. Don't tell them. Don't say, you'll find someone. Don't say that. Because a healthy person isn't looking for someone else to fulfill that anymore. I've grown and moved past that, and it feels good, although it's wildly uncomfortable because I've never known this space before. But it's exciting. So don't give sympathy. Watch Brene Brown and what she talks about with sympathy versus empathy. Just sit and hold space and let them feel this. Like you're sitting here and feeling it. Resist the temptation to comment and reassure me. If you have something to say, if you want to have your voice heard, yes, please do that. That's what is healthy. Let's have a conversation, a dialogue around it. But I don't need reassurance. I don't need sympathy from anybody because this is my opening. This is me bursting in a new level, another cocoon I've emerged from, and it's empowering, and it's My wings are still drying, but I'm still the butterfly, and I'm stepping into the next purpose, the next level in my life. And it feels really good, even though talking about it makes me feel sick to my stomach. But that's what healing is. That's what spirituality is. It's the rawness. It's the realness. It's not over-spiritualizing everything to where everything is all bubbles and balloons, because I like bubbles and balloons. So thank you so much for watching. And if you have a comment, I would invite you, if you feel like the urge to reassure me, just maybe think about the uncomfortableness of seeing me being vulnerable, and maybe still comment, but find a way to comment that doesn't take away the connection that is happening if you feel the urge to say something. Because sympathy creates distance, and empathy creates connection. And if you're confused on that, again, Brene Brown, brilliant. I'm not going to re-articulate anything she said perfectly. So thank you very much for watching this long video.